Welcome to today's session and thanks for joining. In these live sessions, I demonstrate a technique for swing trading profitably in any market condition by taking only high probability and low risk trades. Greetings. Greetings, I am Sagar Nandi, active trader. I trade using only one trading system Q that I developed myself. Disclaimer, this demonstration is for educational purposes only. I'm not an investment advisor. It is not a trade recommendation. Trading involves risk. You and only you are solely responsible for the outcome of your trades. Options trading can be risky. You may refer to the characteristics and risks of standardized options document from OCC to decide if options trading is suitable for you. Q runs on TradeStation and Metastock platforms. Let's start with the live systems, charts that often move the market. Dollar index. After reaching jump thrust low, price extreme low, big move up 3, it has gradually started to go up and now it is inside a triangle pattern created by trendline resistance and support. If it breaks out of the trendline resistance, that will be bullish for dollar index. If it breaks below the trendline support, that will be bearish for dollar index. Right now it is indecisive inside the triangle pattern and I would not like to trade. The other market level instrument that influences the entire market without failure is mega cap index. This is the custom mega cap index. In the weekly, it is showing bearish indecision cluster at the top at a level where bearish headwind came earlier, from where price fell down substantially. I am expecting mega cap index to create a false upside breakout and pull back. In the daily, I am expecting it to create the same false upside breakout and break this trend line support as well. You can see in daily it has already displayed bearish indecision cluster at the top and it has displayed a bearish headwind as well. If that expectation of mine comes true, then I'd like to short some of the mega cap stocks. Right now, it does not have any short setup, but if the expectation comes true, I'd like to look for shorts. Let's now look at market breadth internal health check. Usually the market follows the internal health, not the other way around. Apology, all my charts are somehow opening on the other monitor and I am having to drag it to this monitor. Market breadth total view, the broadest view of the market. It does not have much useful information in terms of percentage of stocks above 50-day moving average. It is bullish but not overbought. In terms of 3-month new high low, it is bullish but not overbought. Some insight we may gather from the accumulation distribution count. When we had a series of bingo, thanks to Mr. Ian Woodward, may him rest in peace, that is throwing baby out with bathwater at the bottom. Notice bingos came here also. They are not so useful as the bingos that come after the market has already fallen. When a series of bingos come, then we are going to look for large accumulation count and or Eureka, which came on this day. I would not buy on that day, and I mentioned that in that market recap because that was a too long candle. Then came another large accumulation count day with Eureka. That was the buying day. That is how to read the bingo signal at the low and look for an accumulation count and or Eureka to catch the low of a move. What happened after that? Price went up significantly and then it displayed a large distribution count. However, price did not fall. Instead, it went up and showed a large accumulation count. If you are following the news as I am, and I'm sure you are following it, these large distribution and accumulation counts are the results of sudden news on tariff or other economic fronts that are changing from bullishness or to bearishness or bearishness to bullishness. That is what it seems resulted in the large distribution count and immediately after that the large accumulation count. If we ignore the news, I think we can ignore these two counts as well. Let's look at the candle chart more clearly using weekly daily charts. In the weekly, it is practically not moving for 2 weeks. I had my last market recap at this point. Last week I did not have the market recap. And in my last market recap, that time I mentioned that I was not keen to buy. That was very effective if you look at the total view weekly chart, because after that price did not go up, did not come down, also slightly came down but not much. In the daily, now it is inside a triangle pattern, right at the tip of the triangle pattern. If it falls down from here, probably nudged down by the mega cap custom index creating a false upside breakout, then I think there will be many low risk shorting opportunities. On the other hand, if it breaks to the upside, breaks the trend line resistance, there will be at least some buying opportunities. Right now there is no buying or shorting opportunities. I'll not drill down from the total view to the composites and major indexes. They don't give additional insights this week. Now moving on to Q Edge, it has bucket analysis thanks to Dr. Jeffrey Scott, after watching whose videos I started incorporating it in my trading. Bucket analysis pinpoints reversal points with remarkable accuracy. It can be used as an oscillator. And edge also has sector industry stock breadth. It shows where the market came from, where it is now, and where it may go next. Bucket analysis, it is balanced. 49% of stocks are above mid-Bollinger Band, 51% below mid-Bollinger Band. That is balanced, neutral posture. We can see that from the histogram chart as well. Percentage of stocks above upper Bollinger Band or below lower Bollinger Band, both are very small, so it is neither overbought not oversold. Of course, that has to be true when the posture is neutral. Sector industry stock breadth, 1 month long term is bullish, again long term 10 days bearish, it flipped from bullish to bearish, 5 days bullish, and then 1 day bearish. So from bullish to bearish to bullish to bearish, it is flip-flopping, and that is expected when we see that total view is inside a triangle and it is practically not moving. There is no extra insight available from sector industry stock breadth this week. It is flip-flopping. It can go either way from here. QFinder technical breadth, we only profit by buying stocks going up or shorting stocks coming down. Technical breadth shows the overall posture to adopt and allows easy drill down to find low risk trade setups. Weekly technical breadth, again quite balanced, slightly bullish but not too bullish. Reversals are more bearish. Market is at a high level. If it comes down, there may be more reversal trades than trend following trades for bearish direction. That is what we can gather from the reversals being more bearish, the other categories being more bullish or neutral. Friday's technical breadth, slightly bullish, not too bullish, slightly bullish. Q market level summary, the most important trading decision is whether and where, which pocket to buy or short, or whether to stand aside. Looking at the different dimensions, the fact that total view is inside a triangle, there is neither too bullishness or bearishness in Q edge, bucket analysis, secondary stock breadth, or Q finder. I would not like to take trade in any direction, but if one at all wants to take, then one may take bullish trades because the trend is intact unless it is broken. The bullish trend is not broken yet. It is inside the triangle. If it comes down now, then the bullish trend will be broken, but it is not broken yet. So if at all one wants to take a trade that may be in the bullish direction, but I'm not keen to do that. I'm waiting for the false upside breakout to happen, for the triangle to break down, and to look for short trades. So for me, it is waiting patiently. Review of last week's trade ideas. I did not have any market recap last week. The week before that, I was reluctant to take many long trades. I shared only one trade, idea LYB, that was here. And after that, it has pulled back. That is okay. I was not expecting the market to be too bullish. That's why I chose LYB, which was a very high dividend yield stock. You can see on Friday also all the industry peers came down, but that was okay because this trade I selected based on high dividend yield. One way to play it would be using naked short put, probably a little bit out of the money short put. That way, if we don't get assigned, we get the premium, and if we get assigned, we get to capture the high dividend yield plus the money from the short put. That was the basis of me choosing LYB over other trades. That the stock fell down is no problem for this particular trading strategy. This week's trade idea, I am not keen to trade myself, but as I mentioned, if anyone wants to trade, the direction may probably be bullish rather than bearish. With that in mind, let me share one stock. Again, I am not going to trade it myself. I have no position in this at present. I did not buy it on Friday. The stock is it EA? It is EA, Electronic Arts. Notice that unlike LYB's industry peers, this is more bullish. Majority of industry peers for EA went up on Friday. It is an undervalued stock with excellent earnings quality. Next earnings due is on 28th July, some distance away. Funds are accumulating, however, insiders are selling, they nullify each other. How I choose swing trades is based on primarily either valuation or earnings growth. Here we don't have earnings growth, but we have undervaluation, and I would like to buy stocks in this current market condition, especially where I'm expecting it to come down. I would like to buy stocks that are profitable, and this stock is profitable whichever way you look at it. Fundamentally, Q scorecard allows buying this stock. If I look at the stocks industry scorecard, interactive home entertainment, it it is not only one of the strongest industries, it is also one of the most accelerating industries. It's a turnaround industry that is in sync with the stock chart, which also fell significantly but now nicely going up. Why I chose this stock is because of the excellent support provided by the weekly trend line as well as daily trend line. This is giving me a bounce long trade setup. Bounce is a unique Q trade setup that allows me to buy when a stock falls sharply and suddenly and stops right at a pre-existing trend line, in this case in weekly, daily both, and goes up with high activity or pressure, etc. You could find this trade in real time using Q Finder either on TradeStation or on Metastock. Let's drop EA on TradeStation Finder. You can see that it touched a memory trend line and it has a possible bounce long setup. It is in a downtrend and it has a bullish indecision, bullish activity, relative performance is also bullish. So we could find the trade in real time using Q Finder here on TradeStation. And if I go to the stock scorecard, I could also look up the Q Finder on Metastock, and there it would show the same thing. It has a bullish indecision and it has a bounce setup. That is my peak this week. I wanted to show one more thing, why this bounce setup similar to headwind setup but more extreme case of catching the low, similar to box setup but more extreme case of catching the low. Why I say similar to headwind and box? Because headwind, box, bounce all are reversal trade setups, whereas flow and pullback are trend following trade setups. Breakout can be reversal as well as trend following. These are the different trade setups in Q system. Now I wanted to show one more thing. Let's look at EA using Q entry chart. We saw that in TradeStation. On Metastock we can see the same thing. It has a bounce long setup, and notice, as you saw on TradeStation, the candle color is red. Bounce is the only buy setup that allows buying even on a red candle. It is an exhaustion based buy setup, so buying at the very low, the candle color being red does not stop us from taking the trade. Now if we use the momentum charts, let's do that. You will notice in the momentum chart it is very red. Why I came here is to show that if I did not have those Q memory trendline supports and the bounce trade setup, I would not be able to buy a stock like this. But because I have access to those trend lines, I have access to the bounce trade setup definition, and I can see the industry is one of the strongest and accelerating, and the fundamental scorecard is good enough. I'd like to have EA as my buy setup. As I mentioned, I did not buy it on Friday. On Monday, if it continues to go up, I probably would not mind buying it, but I would do that using the precision entry or pivot chart. In the morning session I use 5-minute interval, so I will switch to this pivot chart template and look to enter the trade on Monday if the stock is continuing to go up. Yes, it drew the pivot lines. If you carry out the 360 degrees analysis using Q like that, you will most likely find other trading candidates today just as you would almost any other day. Thanks a lot for joining. I look forward to seeing you in my next session. Have a great weekend, and as I always say, as these live examples I am quite confident shows, there is no reason not to do that. Trade profitably. Thank you.